I'll let that dry. I'll put a couple more coats on, and then you'll probably find out if I won that battle or not. This job, it's a coat hook, or coat hook backing board. It's going on a stud wall, plasterboarded, so we need to pick up the studs. So rather than just hang coat hooks into the plasterboard, I'm going to do a nice bit of oak. This is rough sawn oak, so we're going to have to finish it. It's also wonky as a dog's hind leg. So you can see that there's probably like a 4 or 5 mil gap there. It's fairly straight this way. There's a little bit of a bow to it, but it's flat that side. So at least we've got one good surface to, that's a good surface, one good surface to work from. So we need to square this up. I'm going to use a table saw for that. Probably incorporate this to give us a straight edge to get one good side, and then once we've got one good side, we're off to the races. So let's get that sorted. So here's what we're going to do. This is bowing that way, so we'll use the straight edge, pop this in the table saw, and right in the middle here is the widest point. So I'll set the saw to start cutting in. Now, because this is oak, and this isn't a particularly powerful saw, there's going to be multiple passes. But the idea is to slide that through like that, and that'll give us our straight edge. And then once we've got that side down, we can dispense with this, flip it over and true the other side up. I'll show you a pass, but there's going to be loads of them. They're all basically going to be the same thing. It's been multiple passes. So let's get this extractor sorted. It is going to get noisy, and I will get covered in dust. But let's see how this works out. Right, you get the gist of it. That's our high spot. So I'll just keep repeating this until we bring this down and get this edge parallel to that spirit level. But I won't put you through that. So this video should hopefully show you how we turn this into this. This is oiled, pre-drilled, ready for fixing, ready to put our hooks on. We've got a nice chamfer, 45 degree all the way around on the corners. So if you like this kind of thing, like and subscribe. You can help me out. Let's see how it was done. It's working actually quite well. I forgot to mention I've got our flatter side down, because this has got a bit of a wonk to it there as well. But literally I've done one pass and I'm from here almost to the end there as well. So it's literally, there's a little low spot here, a tiny little bit there. So I've set that fence 1 mil in, and we'll see how that works out. This should be the last pass, he says. Got it. Hopefully you can see that. I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So now, we don't need to use this now. I'm not going to flip it over because we know this has got a bit of a bow to it. So if I turn it down this way, we've got our X. Good sides on the bottom now. Now we're not taking the middle out, now it's the ends, because it's bananaed this way. So we need to, there'll be a high spot here and a high spot there. So we need to reset the fence to allow for that. Set it for the maximum, and again, just little passes at a time. Right. So yeah, took that off there. Then there's the dip. And we're up to about here, so that's not too bad. what I can do is I can measure this. There's a 3mm difference. So I'll probably do a 1.5 and a 1.5, and that should true this up. Next step is we need to plane this down, get rid of this rough edge. There's obviously a bit of a bow in here as well. So we need, for that, we need a planer. I'm not going to cut it down to length just yet. I'm going to plane it first, because with this thing, if there's ever any problems, it's normally at the start and the finish. So if we plane it first, we can then trim it down. Hopefully any little dips that we've got where we perhaps snagged it or something, we can deal with that by chopping them off. But here's the planer. And this literally just clips in. And I'll feed it through that way. So let me get this set up. Now if we look at the plain side compared to what we started with, that's our rough bit. That's where I'm finishing, because you see, like, you get these marks sometimes, but I know I'm going to chop most of that off, or all of it. Right, I'll flip that over, take care of this side. Right, that's looking pretty good now. You don't have to do both sides, but the reason I do it is because now I can pick my favourite pattern. Because literally, once it's just bolted to the wall, you're never going to see the rough side. But yeah, it's my OCD, I suppose. But this needs a bit of sanding where it's marked. But yeah, happy with that. Next stage is to pick our face, and then we'll router, put a nice chamfer on the edge of this, because it's very sharp at the minute and it just looks like a plank of wood, but that should finish it. What I'll do first is I'll get this little scrap bit of wood to set the depth. I think that's about right. I don't want anything too big, otherwise it's going to make it look a bit too slopey. I just want to take it off. So I'll start with this one. We'll see how it looks. If I don't like it, I can always bring that up a little bit and make a bigger chamfer. So now we set the depth. This is our front facing surface, so this is going to be the back. So this is the edges, or these are the edges we're going to be chamfering. So we spin that over, remembering that's the back, and then just basically we'll work along. I don't take it all off at once because it can overload the router a bit. Work your way down in little stages if you can, especially with this being oak. if you're going to be able to make this out, but it's not too bad. There's a little dig here where it's kind of flaked, but there's not much I can do about that really. I'll sand that, get rid of that. I've got some little bit of burning on the edge, but that's kind of happens with oak. I'm going to do these corners here as well. I think they'll look a little bit nicer. But yeah, so far so good. Right, that's the holes drilled. There's 4 of them here. The countersunk as well. I'm going to sand it now. You'll have to excuse the rain, but I figured I'm going to have the extractor on anyway. So I'm going down in 3 grits. I'm going to start with a 150, then a 180, and then finish with a 220. Just do the sides and the face of it and the ends. I'm going to change grits and basically repeat that process. I won't put you through that, and I'll bring you back when it's looking nice and smooth. This is always my favourite bit. Danish oil, especially on oak. I've got like an affinity for oak. As soon as this soaks in, once it's soaked in for a bit, you'll see it bring out the colour. Don't go mad with this stuff. I'm going to build it up in thin layers, and I've tried all sorts. I've tried a brush sort of works. A roller is another one if you're doing massive projects, but old t-shirt always seems to work well. You don't get too much, and you can get a feel for how it's doing. But yeah, I'll carry on and get this done, and then show you the finished article. That's the first coat of oil on. It needs to soak in and set up. I'll leave that till tomorrow now. Like I say, there's at least 2 more going on there, but it gives me time to try and talk her out of these things. Ugh, brass. I wonder if it's my age group. Anything brass. Ugh. I'm definitely not old enough for that yet. So we'll see if we can't get some nice brushed stainless or something. But however, I'll let that dry. I'll put a couple more coats on, and then you'll probably find out if I won that battle or not. So I'm going to mount the pegs. I've basically gone 100mm in, and then both sides 100mm in, and then divided the remaining portion by 3 to give me my 2 mounting points. So now they're symmetrical. It's a minor thing, but I've also done a centre line as well, so they should be straight and they should be evenly spaced. There's no point in going through all this trouble making this look nice and then having the pegs all wonky. But I'm just going to drill pilot holes now, because obviously this is oak. If you try and wind a screw into it, you can snap them because it's fairly hard. But pilot drill. Pilot holes are done, nice and straight. I'll get the hangers on. What I will say is that the screws that come with the hangers, I'm ditching them. Although they're a better colour, experience with them in the past is the heads either burr out or the things snap, especially going into oak. This is very unforgiving oak. If you've got a weak screw, this will find it. But I'll get these screwed on, bring you back. That's it, all finished. You'll be pleased to hear I won the battle over the brass coat hooks, hat hooks. She even said she'd get some chrome ones. Well played. I didn't see that coming. We've gone down the chrome and crystal route. Mother-in-laws. Right, anyway, that's it now. That's ready to go on the wall. Simple as put the screws in. We've already pre-drilled it where the studs are. And now, that should be nice and secure. Hope you like this sort of thing. If you can help me out, subscribe, like it, share it. I'll see you on the next one.